I literally saw a guy do this just last weekend. Look, if you're looking to upgrade your bag in 2026 and you are shopping the used driver market, you have absolutely run into the TaylorMade SIM and the SIM2. And here's the brutal truth. They look incredibly similar, they share the exact same TaylorMade DNA, but buying the wrong one is the absolute easiest way to waste your money and actually lose strokes off the tee.
It happens all the time.
So today, we're putting these two titans head-to-head to find out which one truly deserves a spot in your bag.
Welcome back to Golf Gear Showdown, where it's always golf gear head-to-head. I'm Jake, the everyday golfer, always looking at feel, value, and what actually works on a Sunday morning.
And I'm Mike. I'm the guy who digs into the data, the specs, and the design intent to show you exactly who this gear is built for. Now picture this. You're standing in the golf shop right now. You've got the original SIM in one hand, you've got the SIM2 in the other. Both are right there on the rack. Which one are you walking out with?
Well, that's the couple $100 question, right? Is the SIM2 actually worth the upgrade? Let's cut through the marketing hype. Back in 2020, the original SIM launched with its shape and motion design and a game-changing sliding weight track. I mean, it was a massive hit.
Exactly. But then, just a year later, in 2021, TaylorMade drops the SIM2 and fundamentally changes the engine under the hood. Now, a few years later, the used market is flooded with both of them. For us everyday golfers, the stakes are pretty high.
To settle this once and for all, we're running our classic showdown rounds today. We'll cover the matchup setup, distance and forgiveness, accuracy and feel, price and value, and finally, our final golfer verdicts. Let's get right into it.
Starting with Section 1, the matchup setup, looking at the 2020 versus the 2021 models.
And hey, make sure you stick around for the middle rounds of this explainer, because we're going to reveal a massive structural difference that most players completely overlook. But first, let's navigate this market maze.
When you see the TaylorMade lineup on the rack, the visual similarities are striking. Both of these clubs have that iconic blue, black and white color scheme and those sweet carbon crowns. Honestly, my buddy Dave actually bought the wrong one once because he was just looking at the grip. But the technology changed in ways that drastically alter how these clubs perform when you inevitably miss the center of the face.
Which brings us to round one, distance and forgiveness. Let's talk pure distance first, starting with the speed-injected twist face. Both of these drivers use this tech. That means each head is calibrated at the factory to maximize ball speed right up to the legal limit. They also both feature the speed pocket to protect your speed when you strike it low on the face. So purely on perfect, dead center strikes, the distance difference is practically a tie.
However, the design intent really shifted with the SIM2. The standard SIM2 features a face that is 12% larger than the original SIM. Plus, TaylorMade introduced a CNC milled back cup face with a super precise variable thickness design.
Okay, Mike, but what does all that tech jargon actually mean for me out on the course?
Basically, it means more of the face is flexing at that legal limit. You might not see a massive jump in your absolute maximum distance, but it logically preserves your ball speed significantly better when you miss the dead center.
So, round one goes to the SIM2, but really only if you're the type of golfer who tends to use the entire club face off the tee.
All right, moving to round two, forgiveness. And man, this is where things get really interesting. The SIM2's forged ring construction completely rebuilt the chassis for the 2021 model. They used this lightweight aluminum ring to bond the crown, the sole, and the face all together. For an everyday golfer hitting it off the toe or the heel, this ring allowed them to push way more weight to the absolute perimeter of the club head.
The specs back you up perfectly there, Jake. If we look at the original SIM Max, the rear weight was sitting around 12 grams. But because of that forged ring on the SIM2 Max, they literally doubled the rear weight to a massive 24 grams. Even the standard SIM2 bumped up to 16 grams. That extra mass drastically drives up the moment of inertia, or MOI. It inherently resists twisting at impact.
And that twisting is exactly what kills your distance and sprays the ball into the trees. Your bad shots just stay so much more playable with the newer model. So I'm calling it right now. Round 2 goes to the SIM2, especially in the Max version.
I agree for sure. But before you lock in your buying decision, round 3 is where the original SIM fights back. And honestly, it's the exact reason some scratch golfers completely refuse to give it up.
Let's move right into round 3, accuracy and feel. This is the battle of adjustability versus stability, the middle of the bout where the hard specs and real course feel truly collide. So the original standard SIM driver features a 10-gram sliding weight track right on the sole. You can shift the center of gravity to dial in up to 20 yards of draw or fade bias. In the SIM2, TaylorMade completely removed this track to improve aerodynamics and maximize pure forgiveness.
And that is a huge deal. Look, if you're a chronic slicer or you're a shot shaper who loves to dial in a really specific ball flight, that 20-yard draw adjustability on the original SIM is a total lifesaver. The SIM2 is straighter naturally, sure, but it lacks that fine-tuned control. So for adjustability, the original SIM takes the round.
Moving over to round 4, feel and sound. Sound equals confidence on the tee box, plain and simple. When I tested these back-to-back last month, the original SIM had a noticeably more metallic, traditional pop to it. You really hear it when you catch it pure. The SIM2, largely thanks to that forged ring and the extra carbon composite, is much more muted. It sounds very solid, very premium. At address, the SIM's iconic chalk white crown makes alignment a breeze, but the SIM2 refined the shape to look just a bit more modern.
Now, it's highly subjective, but having hit both on the course under pressure, that solid thwack of the SIM2 just gives you a bit more confidence when you're standing over a tight fairway. I'm giving a slight edge to the TaylorMade SIM2 for the more solid, premium sound.
Fair enough, Jake. But confidence also comes from not draining your bank account. Coming up next is the wallet round, and the used market pricing right now might just flip this entire showdown on its head.
Welcome to round 5, price and value. We're looking specifically at 2026 used market prices. This is the pivotal round where we compare current market realities and see what these clubs are actually going to cost you today. Time for our smart shopper move. When you're navigating the 2026 used market, you have to look beyond just the model year. The gap between these two generations is literally only 1 year, 2020 versus 2021. Sometimes an original SIM in absolute mint condition is a far better buy than a beat-up SIM2. You really need to compare the condition alongside the generation gap. Yeah, let's look at the actual numbers here. The original SIM is sitting somewhere between $80 and $150 right now. The SIM2 is running about $120 to $200. So, Mike, we're looking at roughly a $40 to $60 gap. My question is the average 15 handicapper actually going to save enough strokes to justify spending that extra cash on the SIM2? That's the perfect question, Jake. Honestly, for the larger face and that extra forgiveness, I argue the $50 is absolutely worth it. But if you are on a strict budget, grabbing an original SIM for under $100 is an absolute steal. So we've got a split decision here. Round 5 goes to the SIM2 for the best performance per dollar, but the original SIM wins for absolute budget value. Now here's the part where we tell you exactly who should buy each one, and one of these answers is definitely going to surprise you. Let's bring it all home in Section 5, Final Golfer Verdicts. We've broken down the specs and the feel, and now we're going to definitively map these drivers to specific player profiles so you know exactly what to target for your bag.
But first, you have to avoid the absolute biggest buying mistake out there. Do not, I repeat, do not blindly buy the standard model just because it's what the Tour Pros play. The standard models are lower spinning and way less forgiving. If you are an everyday mid to high handicapper and you buy the standard SIM2 expecting magic, you are going to lose distance on your miss-hits. You need to be looking at the max versions.
Let's do a rapid-fire breakdown. If you are a complete beginner, a high handicapper over an 18, or just a golfer needing max forgiveness, the SIM2 Max is your clear winner. Mid-handicappers between a 10 and 18, also the SIM2 Max. But if you are a chronic slicer, or maybe a senior player with a slower swing speed under 85 miles per hour, grab the SIM2 Max D. What about players with faster swing speeds above 95 miles per hour, or those strictly chasing distance? The standard SIM2 is going to optimize that lower spin for you. If you're a budget-conscious buyer, hunt down the original SIM Max. And finally, for the true gamers and low handicap shot shapers who love to tinker, the sliding weight on the original standard SIM makes it the winner for your bag.
So the showdown is officially settled, but the real question is about your game. What is your handicap, and which of these drivers wins the battle for your bag? Let us know in the comments below.
If this Showdown explainer helped you make a smarter buying decision, make sure to dive into more of our head-to-head battles.